and welcome to the second episode of 5-Minute VR Tasting, where I review the delicacy of VR gaming in under 5 minutes. On today's menu, we've got a game called Chess Club, which was released on the Quest platforms in June, and it is a chess simulation game that you can play with AI, with your friends, or get matched with random players. A chess simulator sounds pretty self-explanatory already, so let's dive in and take a better taste of this game. The game starts in this psychedelic room with chess pieces moving around you and a classical piano piece playing on the background. It just makes you feel so classy already, and you haven't even started playing. The chess pieces in front of you represent different levels of AI difficulty you can play with, and you can even create your own custom AI opponent to practice your chess skills. To the right, you can see some random players online that you can invite to play a match with. I decided to play with an AI first to get a hang of the game. I happen to know how to play chess, and I really enjoy it too. But what I was hoping to see is some kind of a tutorial or a training mode that would actually explain the rules of the game and slowly ease you into playing. To my disappointment, there wasn't any training mode that would explain the rules, and basically the game would make no sense to you unless you already know how to play. When you start a match, you can decide which mode you want to play: Blitz, Rapid, Classic, or Tournament, so that each game has a different time limit. And lastly, you can also choose one of the two environments: Grand Palace with traditional chessboard and pieces, or Stonehenge, where you'll be located in the magical forest with a real army of self-moving creatures. The developers promise more environments and chess piece designs in the future updates, but for now, these are the two that we've got. The living creatures pieces look exciting and reminded me of the living chess from Harry Potter. The traditional chess pieces look very familiar, and you can move them pretty much instantly. I definitely felt very confident playing with this setting, but it's a bit boring. After all, that's the point of being in VR, where literally anything is possible. To play with just regular chess pieces is kind of meh. So of course the Stonehenge environment looks a lot more exciting as you're controlling your own army. The pieces are designed in a way that you can easily tell which piece is which. Like, the knight is a centaurus looking creature with a horse head. A rook is a stone-like monster. Pawns are tiny dwarves, and the king and the queen look like, well, an interesting interpretation of king and a queen. They all look pretty clear up close, but when you're looking at the whole chessboard, it might get a little bit confusing, as you need to keep track of both your chess pieces and the ones of your opponent, and you might not see them as clearly from distance. The pieces have really cool animations for movements and for attacking. Each chess piece has more than one attack animation, which is an excellent decision by the developers, because if they'd all been the same, then it would have gotten old and boring pretty quickly. But different animations keep the game interesting. However, all these animations take time, and as a result, the game doesn't feel as snappy as the original chessboard. And overall, it's quite slow, and you're waiting for each of these animations to complete, especially the movement animations is taking forever, as opposed to the traditional chess design where this movement occurs instantly. I think it's problematic because each game has its own time frame, and the piece animations take the precious time out of the match. I was trying to find a way to accelerate the animation speed, but I couldn't find it. So as much as I enjoy playing the animated characters, the unbearingly slow pace of the game is quite discouraging, and I find myself falling back to the original chess design for a more dynamic play. While playing, you can also check your game statistics, such as how many pieces you've lost, how many you've defeated, and the game also tracks your moves history during a match. So after I played a couple of rounds with an AI, I decided to get matched up with a real person. When playing with another player, you can choose your game to be ranked or unranked. You can see their Oculus avatar here with a microphone to chat during the game. The person I played with wasn't very chatty, but it's pretty typical. Overall, it felt pretty great. There was no lag, the online game went smoothly, and I won. And that always feels great, right? Overall, the game has a lot of potential, but it feels like it has only the very basics done. The fact that they didn't include any kind of a training course that would teach newbies the basics of the game is a big disadvantage, because I feel like it'll make it very difficult for them to welcome new players to the game. In addition, they released the game with only 2 environments, and there are many more that we want to see, but we have to wait. And with the Stonehenge mode, the function of time acceleration is much needed, as it takes unnecessarily long time to wait for each move to be completed. On the upside, the game itself looks smooth and has plenty of gaming settings. I enjoyed the game, and I would like to see it expanded, both in terms of the intuitiveness of navigation, the training modules, and the gaming environments. Let me know what you think of Chess Club, and if you know how to play chess. chess? If not, would you be willing to learn in order to try this game? Curious to see what you think. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Stay safe and happy tasting!